Preeti ma'am. Welcome to Box Office India.
Thank you so much.
So, three successful films in the last in less than 2 years, 1.5 years if I'm not wrong.
That's right.
Yeah.
Bareilly was August.
Yeah, August, then May, and now October. So how is it? What is Jungli doing right to get all kinds of films right?
I think that what has paid off in a very big way is our focus on stories.
Okay.
And with that, we've been very fortunate, and I've said this earlier and I will keep maintaining it, is that we've had amazing talent that has come and worked with us. Our writers, our directors. So the foundation for us has always been our writers.
Right.
The next level is the combination of our very, very talented directors. And then moving forward, we've managed to attract the right cast to tell our stories.
Yeah, because in every film the cast is right on point.
It's been the dictates of the story.
Right.
So we've not kind of veered away from what the story has dictated, and it's paid up. And I also think that while that's what is the internal workings in Jungli Pictures, there's an external environment that is at play as well.
Yeah.
Where if it's the audience, not only are they prepared, they've embraced our films.
Yeah.
So this combination has paid off.
Okay. So you speak about the audience embracing the movies that you all are making. With Badhaai Ho, it was a completely different subject. It was a subject that probably even 5 years before people would have been really apprehensive. A mother at that age getting pregnant and how these people are dealing with the embarrassment of the news. Were you even a little apprehensive while this film?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all. This is the one thing that I can say about the entire team that has worked on the film. I don't think we've ever had a conversation internally saying, wow, we're making this, how is it going to be taken? Because we were so attracted and attached. The germ for this came that we wanted to tell a story that was an out-and-out family entertainer.
Yeah.
That brought families in, which is the way movies have been watched in India.
Right.
It's a family thing. And then we wanted to see a family come together. We have very strong family values in this country.
Right. We do.
And here is the thing. We didn't hesitate, and if you see the reaction that from the time we let the trailer out, the reaction of the audience, it got picked up instantly, which actually is, shows that the audience also didn't think of this as an awkward story.
Yeah.
At all. And they kind of embraced it. At the box office, whenever we've been in theatres, we see that it is entire families coming together.
Yeah.
So,
I watched it with my mother.
You did? See?
Yes.
This is what I mean.
Yeah.
It's an entire family that's come together. You've had grandmothers come with their granddaughters or grandsons, which is fabulous. It was for all ages, and it's been sensitively handled. See, it's not a subject that we've taken lightly.
Exactly. Yeah.
There's humor, and that's credit to my writers, Shantanu and Akshat. But in no way have we turned it into a parade.
Right.
And again, that is to the credit of the director, Amin.
Absolutely. So you spoke about the trailer. When we spoke earlier during Razi, you said that the trailer is of utmost importance because it's like a subset of the film.
It is only the subset of a film. Yes.
So when you guys were cutting this trailer, what did you keep in mind? Because it had to put out the right energy, into the audience.
I think I'll tell you that this is a combination. What we did correctly was during the filming and making of the film, we never revealed the concept.
Right.
So any PR around the film at its production stage never talked about what the main concept was. It just talked about this being a family film and something happening. And the assumption everybody kind of made was that Ayushmann is going to it's a rom-com with Ayushmann getting engaged or married. And those were assumptions.
Yeah.
So the trailer came as a huge surprise, but we knew we were putting the concept out. It was the film. And when, We wanted everyone to know that this is what our film was about, and that it was about the family of the Kaushik family.
Yes.
You know, we say the Kaushik Parivar,
Yeah.
and that is
The Kaushiks.
the Kaushiks.
Yeah, there's a
with no
theme.
apostrophe.
Yes.
Yeah, and this is about the Kaushiks.
Yeah.
And we introduced the family in the trailer.
Right.
And it got picked up. It is, in my experience also with films, it has been perhaps the most viral trailer that I have been a part of. Yes.
Because I remember I was at the trailer preview and everybody was just raving about it. Whoever saw it, everybody was messaging me, have you seen the trailer? Have you seen the trailer? I'm like, yes, I have. It was amazing.
Yeah, no. So that's it. So we even, cutting the trailer was actually to communicate the film.
Right. It is so great because the film not only has the humor that is, depicted in the trailer, but a really good balance of drama also, because it made us laugh and it definitely made us cry in the end.
It has the emotion, but
Yeah.
think about it. It's a reflection of all our families.
It is. Yeah.
I think we've moved away, and I'm a huge fan of Hum Aapke Hain Kaun, but we've moved away from depicting families like that.
Thankfully so.
Yes. No, it's today's family.
Right.
You will have the drama, but it does not take away from the most important fact that family sticks by each other.
It does.
And no matter what the situation is, what is most important is your immediate family rallying together.
Right. Let's go back to when the journey of Badhaai Ho started. We heard that Amit Sharma and you all were working on a similar lines for a project.
Oh, it wasn't similar at all. It was the same.
Oh, okay.
And that is serendipity. Somebody very wise once told me that just remember one thing, that if you have an idea, know for sure that idea exists elsewhere and it's being developed at the same time.
Right.
We started working on Badhaai, well, today it's called Badhaai Ho, at that time it was unnamed, on a family that comes home, and exactly the same concept, parents pregnant and the impact the pregnancy has on the children. We'd been working on it for 9 months when I heard that Amit had started working on a similar concept, the same concept. So I reached out and said, listen, there is no point in the two of us developing this together, because then it's a race against time and who's going to release the film first.
Right.
Let's discuss what we've developed and what you've developed. We had our writer Jyoti Kapoor, and Amit was already writing this story with Shantanu and Akshat.
Right.
Amit and I compared notes, and one of the things I realized very soon, as having spent time with Amit, was the story that we wanted to tell was the story he was developing with Shantanu and Akshat.
Okay.
So we collapsed our story and started developing Badhaai Ho with Amit, Shantanu and Akshat.
Okay.
So the story that you see on cinemas today is Shantanu and Akshat.
Okay. So, as you said that it has resonated with the audience, is that why it has worked so well? Because the jump from day 1 to day 2 to day 3 and towards the weekend, it was huge.
Yes, it is. It's been
Yeah.
a massive weekend. It has.
Yeah.
And I think that this kind of jump is because it's connected with all the age groups.
Right.
So this is not what we say, because we define box office in 18 to 25 and then 25 to 35, and then we pretty much write off anybody above that thinking they're review based.
Right.
So they wait for the Friday reviews.
Yeah.
But this found its connectivity because even the family is, it's an entire family that with each character very defined, very strong. So they've come in, because it's resonated.
Right. So, and how was the creative process like for you as a producer for this film? The casting and then the production.
So we've actually had, and when you chat with Shantanu and Akshat, it's been very interesting because we started writing this, and like any creative journey, your starting point and your end point are never the same.
Okay.
So I can tell you where we started with Badhaai Ho, and the film that you've watched is very different in its journey. Writing, storytelling, family reactions. Some of it has to do with the fact that casting was difficult, and then we had to relook and rethink our family, look at perspectives, change point of views. After Bareilly released, this is a story I really wanted to pitch to Ayushman. And here I cannot underline and reiterate enough that Ayushmann has to be one of the most selfless actors in this industry, because he knew that this was a story of an entire family, but he
Yeah.
wanted to be a part of the journey,
Yeah.
which is, entirely a unselfish act.
Right.
Correct?
Right.
And then, we were looking for the perfect parents, Dadi, and we're really fortunate.
You got all of them, right?
We got all of them. We got all of them.
Yeah. And Surekha Sikri ji, she was
Just stunning.
amazing.
No, stunning. It
Yeah.
is a stellar cast. This
Right.
is supreme talent on screen.
Yeah.
Everyone. And so this is the process of making movies. You can have a crackling paper, then you need a director to bring it to life.
Right.
And sometimes, and it's known to happen, a director delivers to the paper less than the paper. In this case, Amit took the paper and made it far more than it existed. And then there was the cast that was breathing life into these characters, like
Yeah.
they owned them, that this was the Kaushik.
Right.
So it's been a combination that has been spectacular.
Great. So we've seen the box office numbers, we've seen the reaction. How do you measure the success of Badhaai Ho? Is it a combination of both?
Always. I mean, just creatively, it's been so satisfying. The journey was satisfying, but to have the commercial success with this there is nothing more that anybody can ask, and
Right.
it has been a stupendous commercial success.
It has.
So and then there's some films that you feel that that do well, and the creative process has been. We had that in Talwar as well. The creative process was very intense, and it did well for
Right.
the film that it was.
Yeah, it did.
It did well. But when you have a combination of creative and commerce, that explodes the way Badhaai does, then it's just very fulfilling.
Yeah.